Hi everybody, welcome to Tony's Beer Reviews. Thanks for joining me. We've made it through the week. It is
Fun Friday, fun Friday, fun Friday.
That's right, it is Fun Friday. Now, before I start on Fun Friday, I'll explain. Is it kind of sometimes is like almost like a challenge beer where somebody will say drink this or what do you think of this, and they'll buy me beers or suggest beers, and I'll drink them. Sometimes, very rarely, I get to pick them myself. Mr. Tony's Beer Reviews. Quite often we'll pick a lager or a beer or a cider from the supermarket and suggest that one, or she'll just come and randomly pick something from the box of beers that I've got. This time I've picked my own, and apologies on this. No, sorry, not sorry, should I say. I may wax a little bit lyrical over this one. Anybody who's seen a couple of my videos recently will know that I've recently discovered Westerham Brewery. Down in Kent. They are an amazing brewery. They do some really good stuff. And I don't think it's me. I think if you ask anybody who's tried their stuff, absolutely cracking beers. Whilst I was down there, I was lucky enough to try this beer. I think only a handful of people had tried it before me, brewery staff. And so yeah, really honoured to try it down there. I had it in the can down there. I thought it was absolutely amazing. I did promise them when I got one and brought it back, I'd just leave it a couple of weeks before I reviewed it. So as my Fun Friday, I get to pick the beer this time. I'm going to pick this one, and it is this. It is Helles X. It's a export Helles from Westerham Brewery. It comes at 5.2 ABV. Yeah, the reason why it's special, I suppose, is kind of the dream Robert had, in that he wants to know if he could brew a beer that he would be happy to export back to Germany, back to Munich, and they would be happy with the product, and they would drink it and recognise it as virtually one of their Helles products. So that's what it is. It's as near as probably we can get in the UK to brewing a Helles lager as it should be. My expectations are it's going to be full-bodied. There's going to be some sweetness, maybe a little bit of bitterness in there. Yeah, let's crack it open first, and then we'll talk a little bit about it as we start sampling it, I suppose. Now it's made with lager malts and Caragold. On the hop side, for authenticity, they've gone for the Hallertau Traditional. Apologies if I've pronounced that incorrectly. And the Hallertau Mittelfuchs, I think it's called, hop. Both of them grown in Germany. So the German grown hops. Yeah, they're just the traditional hops. Obviously, the noble hops. So it's the creme de la creme of German hops. They've used the Pilsner yeast as well. Waters. Well, we may get into waters as we try it. But yeah, there you go. So beer in the glass. Then it has poured. It's been in the fridge. Got my new fridge, I might as well use it. Yeah, it's clear. It is a pale golden colour. It's got some lovely carbonation going on in there. Let's have a little snifter, shall we? Yeah, it's a mild aroma, but you're getting some floral notes coming through. I might push the description a little bit and just say it's kind of got a herbal hint to it. This will be interesting because the fridge is just come on. I'm interested to see if you can hear me over the noise of the fridge. Be a good test. And a little bit of spiciness on the back end. Smells good. Let's taste, shall we? Cheers, everybody. Now the reason why the hops are so nice, it is actually quite nice. The reason why the hops are so important is you'll tend to get a lot of brewers in the UK and they will brew a Pilsner or a Helles or something like that, and they may use a lager malt, but when it comes to hops, they'll, I don't know, Kent Goldings tends to be a hop that generally gets used. Anything that puts a little bit of flavour in it, a little bit of potentially a floral note or a little bit of fruity note or a little bit of spiciness, kind of seems to be okay. And that's what makes this different, is that they've actually taught to people, they understand how it's made, they understand the water profile. I think I've spoken about the Westerham water before, how soft it is. I would guess, but I don't know. But I do think the Helles or the kind of Munich water is slightly different in makeup to probably anything in this country. So I'm sure there's been, I don't know, but I'm sure there's been some little change kind of around that. One thing that Robert did say when I was down there, he's quite right, is when you drink a beer, this is why I keep talking about water, because the water's important. When you drink a beer, 95% of this is water, and that gives, it can impart a little bit of flavour, it can impart the mouthfeel, it can, the way it interacts with the malts and the hops and the yeast all make a difference, which is why these regional brews, particularly in like Czech Republic or Germany, they kind of come to how they are today because of the either the technology or the ingredients that was available, or often the water profile that they had, which is why the water's important. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and talk about the beer. Rabbiting. It's been a long week. So it does follow the nose, flavour wise. So I am getting floral, edged on a little bit of herbal in the back end. There's a nice spicy pepperiness to it. There is a little bit of gentle bitterness in there as well. I'm trying to decide if I'm picking up a bit of pininess or not. It's entirely possible in that flavour I'm tasting, there's a little bit of pininess in there as well. It's a good beer. It is a very good beer. And the good thing about things like lagers, especially I suppose German lagers with purity laws and you've only got the 4 ingredients, is, you know, there's nowhere to hide. I've brewed strong stouts, strong beers, and you can get away with a lot of sins in those because the strength of the alcohol or the strength of the other flavours can mask little problems in your brew. When it's like this, when some of the flavours are quite gentle and quite subtle, it's more difficult to do that. It's got a mild bittersweet finish, but it is really drinkable and refreshing. It's a good Helles. It is a good Helles, and that would quite easily be able to get exported back into Germany, and they would be happy with that as a product. It's a nice beer, it's a nice lager, it's a really good, excellent Helles. And it's another beer from Westerham. I can't go anywhere else other than score it a 10 out of 10. It is a cracking brew. And the guys down there absolutely need to be proud of it. I will say, and I know I bang on about this brewery, anybody down there, anybody that's passing through Kent, pay them a visit. Try some of the beers. You'll know why I like these guys as much as I do. Anyway, I'm going to stop prattling on. There's beers to drink, so many beers, so little time. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you watching the videos. As always, comment, like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. More important than that, wherever you're drinking, please enjoy it. Until the next review. Cheers, everybody.